Hello, School Improvement Council members. This video is a prompt for Council Discussion 5 on interventions. My name is Sue Reynolds and I am president of the American Student Achievement Institute. And as you can see, we're using a new format for this month's video. We had a lot of suggestions from steering team members over the past couple of months about how to improve upon the format of these videos. One of the things you're going to see is that this video will be a lot shorter. We're going to give some quick instructions on how to participate in the online discussion and then just get right to business. So first let's look at where this month's step, intervention, falls in the vision to action process. So a couple of months ago in January, you and your steering team developed academic goals for your school. And then last month, you looked at what are the reasons that our students aren't currently achieving those goals. And we called those the root causes. Your root causes that you've identified are the areas in your school and your community that are interfering with student achievement in your building. So today we want to figure out what to do about those areas that are interfering. And we'll discuss and then determine what interventions you'll implement in your school and in your community to address those root causes or those areas that are interfering with student achievement that you identified last month. So today's council discussion is focused on this question. What will your school do and what will your community do to address those root causes, those areas that are interfering with student achievement? So as part of this month's tasks, the council will participate in 3 different tasks. They'll review the root causes. You will review the root causes that you identified last month. And then you'll spend some time searching for possible interventions to address those root causes. We'll give you lots of different resources so that you can kind of look around for interventions to address those root causes. And then finally, after you've done some exploring, in the discussion boxes, you'll have a chance to make suggestions to your other council members about what interventions you believe the school should implement next year to address those root causes. Okay, so let's get right to the online system. Okay, so when you log into the discussion page, of course, it will look like this. And in the pre-discussion tasks, you can see that here are the 3 different things that we'd like you to do this month. Number 1, review the school's root causes. Number 2, explore lots of different places where you could discover possible interventions. And then 3, you're going to answer the questions. So let's just look at how you might do this if you were a member of the demo school, School Improvement Council. So first of all, I'm going to review the school's root causes. So click on there. And the root causes that we identified, or this school identified last month, will be there. So you can see at demo school, they've identified 1 general root cause, absenteeism, that they think will impact achievement across the board. And then they've also identified some root causes for their academic goal to increase the percentage of 7th graders who master ratio standards on the I-STEP test. And they've identified 3 root causes for this specific goal. And the 3 are that ratios are not taught in the 7th grade math curriculum. Students needing extra help for ratios have not been identified. And there's a lack of extra help for math outside of the classroom. So if I were a council member for demo school, I'm going to be exploring strategies for these 3 areas. What could we do to decrease absenteeism? What could we do to make sure that ratios are being taught in the math curriculum, that students needing extra help for ratios have been identified, and that there's extra help for math students outside of the classroom? So we want to kind of put on our thinking cap and really start to explore what are the strategies or the interventions that we could do to impact those root causes. So we've given you several different places where you can explore strategies or interventions. And let's just say that right now we're searching for interventions around absenteeism. So the first thing I would do is I'd click on Student Suggestions. The students have also had this discussion prior to the council, and the summary of the student discussion has been entered online, so you can click that link and the students' ideas will come up in terms of what they think the school can do and should do to improve the different root cause areas. Another resource that you have to help generate your thinking is a database where you can search about 22,000 interventions that have been implemented by SI2 schools throughout the past 10 years or so. So if I click on that one, you'll get a search tool, and I think it's probably the easiest way to do this is just to write a keyword in the so you can search for that word in the title or the summary of another school's interventions. And if I just click on absenteeism or attendance, I'm going to come up with about 733 different interventions that other SI2 schools have implemented. So you can go through and read through several pages of those, or just kind of spot check them and see if there's any interventions that grab your attention that would be really good to implement it at your school. So that's one database. Another database is the College Success Coalition interventions. This is a community initiative that looks at raising achievement and also helping students enter post-secondary education and complete post-secondary education. The nice thing about this database is there's not only school interventions in there, but there's also community interventions. So if I click on that, I get again the search tool, and I'll just type in again that keyword, and we'll see what we can get on that one. So we'll scroll down, and I'm going to hit search. And there are 26 different interventions that have been implemented across Indiana by different organizations. And you can see here's one that's been implemented by a community organization, by Kelly Services, Inc. In Terre Haute. So, that may spur some thinking on your part about what could different community organizations do to complement what the school's doing. Okay, then another resource that we're giving you is the strategy research chart. That was filled out by educators or community members from your school when they attended the Indiana Conference on Learning. So I'm just going to, this form was uploaded into the online system so the council members can look at it. So here's just an example of what that would look like. It's going to download, and then I'll simply open it. And so here's different strategies that whoever came to the conference found at the conference that might help with your root causes, and then a little description, and then some data that indicates why these strategies may have the impact that you're looking for. Okay, so that's from the Indiana Conference on Learning, the most recent one. And then the other thing you can do is this is a database of all of the session descriptions going back for, oh gosh, maybe 11 years. So what I could do on this page is just do a Control F, and again search on whatever the word is, and you can see that different schools, here's a session that was presented in 2008 that will impact attendance with at-risk freshmen. So I can just kind of go through and search for that word attendance and come up with different strategies or interventions that various schools have done and also presented on at the conference. Okay, then the last one is just a Google search. So I could, just pull up Google and type into here attendance strategies. And maybe we're looking for attendance strategies in your high school. So just click on that, and then all kinds of different ideas will pop up. So we've given you several different ways to explore possible interventions for each of your root causes. So after I'm finished searching for interventions about attendance, then I would move on to the next root cause and search for interventions regarding that. So after you've done some exploration, then we need you to simply come down and enter those into the online system for as part of your discussion. So what intervention should we implement in our school and community to address the following root cause? Absenteeism. And so you'd write down your ideas here for strategies or activities to do to improve attendance. What intervention should be implemented in our school or community to address the following root cause? Ratios are not being taught in 7th grade math curriculum. So you'd write down your ideas for how to fix that issue. So we're just sharing ideas. Don't forget that as people start to enter their ideas, you can agree with something that someone else has said. And that kind of shows your steering team that there's a lot of agreement that, you know, there may be some consensus around that one intervention. Okay, so pretty easy this month. We're just reviewing the root causes, we're exploring different strategies or interventions, and then we're recording our ideas. Okay, oops, let me go back one more thing. Let's see that we want to cover here. So after you are finished, your steering team will, oops, I don't know why that did that. Let me try that again. But your steering team, I'll just flip through them, will come up with a draft of your strategies or your interventions. There we go. They'll come up with a draft of your interventions, and then we need you to look at that draft and to provide any feedback that you have for the steering team to the steering team. Remember, it's the council consensus point person that's going to be developing that draft and sending it out to you for your consideration. Also, please remember that you don't have to love the interventions, but you do need to be able to live with them and to support them publicly. So if you have any issues with some of the interventions, make sure that your steering team is aware of that. If not, if you don't make them aware, they're going to assume that you can live with those interventions and that you will be supporting them publicly. Okay, if you have any questions, please make sure that you've contacted the council discussion point person on your local school improvement steering team, and they will be able to answer any questions that you have. So on behalf of our organization, the American Student Achievement Institute, and your steering team, just thank you for participating on your school's council. We know you're all volunteers and you're doing this in your evenings, or you've taken time away from work to attend these to participate in these discussions. So thank you so much for doing that, and we will look forward to seeing your responses to the discussion about interventions. Thank you.